Why would I put all of those together? Well, you're going to have to come Saturday and talk with us and find out why. Christians, remember, I came at this from the other side. Did not start at this as a Christian. I I searched for God in so many different ways, through drugs, through other religions. I, at one point, was a believer in the ancient alien theory. So, if you're curious as to why I talk about these topics, because that's what God used to reach me. And I know that there's more people out there. God pulled me through to show me that everything that I was believing in was very real. My perspective on it was off, and that he was in charge, and that everything that it lined back up to him. And that's what this show with Dane is going to be about. And yes, my hope and my prayer is that by the end, there may not be no end. Maybe me and Dane can turn this into something really great, but I do pray that he becomes a Christian at some point. I will not force it on any of you. I'm here to tell you my story, what God has done for me, and how he has transformed my life. And in doing so, I really, really pray that it reaches one of their soul out there, and that they would ask God to show them what he has shown me. So today on Wednesdays, I come on a little earlier and I do a Lefties Losing It episode where I go pull up posts from people on the left, whether it's the media, normal people, and we try to have a little humor with it, because we have to, guys. We have to laugh at this stuff. It's so beyond crazy, some of the stuff that they do and say while accusing us of doing those very things. It is shocking. I don't know any other word for it. Uh, that's cool, Dane. Thank you, bud. I appreciate it. Hopefully, Dane, we can get it going on like Spotify or something where people can just listen to audio if they want to. And the reason I stream here live on Rumble is because I can speak more openly. I do post to YouTube, and as I learn, I hope me and Dane will stream to both Rumble and YouTube at the same time. But for now, I just wanted y'all to kind of understand why and how I'm doing these things. I've been doing this for a year and a half by myself. So I'm so excited to have some help and to have other people's opinions and perspectives on this show, because, like I said, I don't claim to be right, and I want to learn just like you guys. I want to create a channel where you guys can come see a Christian talk about things that Christians normally wouldn't talk about. And that I think is very important, because again, that is how God reached me. So let's do this today. But before we get into the humor part of it, I did want to touch on something that Joe Biden did yesterday. Two things that he did yesterday, and hit a little bit on his pardoning of Hunter Biden, and how the media is out telling you that he did it because his son was an addict. Well, if that's the case and that's the standard now, Mr. Joe Biden, I would love a pardon, because I myself and my addiction went to prison for 4 years for pawning a stolen weed eater. Your son was raped. I'm sorry. A stolen weed eater that at the time I didn't even realize was, yes, 4 years. 4 years. You know how embarrassing that is to admit that I went to prison for pawning a weed eater when I'm sitting next to a murderer? Trust me, I didn't talk about it. But that charge has controlled my whole life. It does to this day. I will be 43 next Sunday. It was 18 when I got the charge, and it still affects my life to this day. To this day. So I'm sick and tired of watching these elites in Washington, D.C., who are human trafficking, selling drugs on a mass amount, corruption at the highest levels, laundering money to Ukraine and back to their daddy, all through him. That's what this charge was about. And for those of you who don't understand what he just did, let me try to help you just a little bit, because back in 2014, I showed you the video clip the other on Monday, I believe, where Joe Biden is out talking about he's in Ukraine and he's threatening to take the money away if they don't do what he wants him to do. Do you remember that? Well, now I want you to remember when Trump came into office. Do you remember the first thing they impeached Donald Trump for? I do. Very clear. Quid pro quo with a phone call with Ukraine. Do you know what that phone call was about? That phone call was about that with Biden, the corruption, the quid pro quo. So what did the deep state do? They kicked into high gear. They impeached Donald Trump for quid pro quo, for calling Zelensky and finding evidence against Obama and Joe Biden. Are you seeing why now that he went and pardoned his son from 2014 to 2024 when he was only charged with a charge from 2018? Why don't you Democrats ask any questions whatsoever? If a Democrat tells you something, you just bend over and take it. You ask no questions. You immediately attack us for asking questions. We can point out fact after fact after fact and proof of corruption from your party, from the Republican Party, from politicians all across it, and y'all ignore it unless his name is Donald Trump. So yes, guys, it's beyond frustrating. It really is. So I'm going to pull up some other things too. I want to show y'all. Did y'all see where he sent $1 billion to Africa for the people who needed money for their natural resources? Hey, Sharon, are you watching? Can you let me know if the sound is good? I think I kicked back off. Hold on one second. Okay, yeah, it's good. I think I fixed my sound, Dane. It sounded much better now. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, the people, he's sending $1 billion to Africa to help rebuild people's homes for natural disasters. How is that not the biggest slap in the face to America? Especially to those in North Carolina who are sleeping in tents right now because they can't get help from the federal government. And $725 million more in weapons he's going to send to Ukraine. And again, people are sleeping in tents in North Carolina. Y'all not find a problem with that? Does that not? Biden is going to leave the worst legacy ever in American history. And on his way out, he'll burn it all down. I truly believe we need to end the lame duck periods where our elections happen in November, you get voted out, and you still have 3 months to do whatever you want with absolutely no consequences. I think the Republicans should come in and try to fix this. I think it's time that we had an honest conversation about that and do not allow the losing team any time to do this again. Whether it's Republican or Democrat, I don't care. It's corruption and it needs to stop. The fact that they allow this to happen tells you that they like the corruption. Both sides do. Both of them do. All right, guys, let me pull up some videos and we'll talk about it. Let us know what state you're watching it from. Dane says, I'll be listening. But, oh, yeah. Under a stupid Ford right now. Hey, at least you're working, bud. That's awesome. All right, I'm going to pull something up. I'm going to do a couple of these and then we'll get into the humor part of it, guys. Normally we come on at nights, but
so before leaving office,
during the week,
he's giving.
My goodness, during the week I have to work after lunch from on, so it's easier for me to come on earlier.
$725 million more to Ukraine and $1 billion to Africa for disaster relief. This is footage of North Carolina, where we have American citizens who have lost everything: businesses, homes, family members. Isn't it funny how the U.S. government can make money appear out of thin air for other countries and other countries' citizens who live in our country illegally? But when it comes to our own citizens, they can never seem to find enough. See, we somehow don't have the money or resources to take care of North Carolina, take care of our own people that are suffering, our own people that have been devastated. But we can come up with billions of dollars to take care of other countries and Democrat-run cities and states, elected officials, mayors, and governors are saying how they're going to define Trump's orders, protect illegal immigrants, when these same elected officials treated Americans like second-class citizens, didn't want them to be able to have jobs, be able to go in restaurants, be able to go in grocery stores, if they didn't have shots, if they didn't have masks. Democrats have lost the plot. Democrats have lost their entire minds. They no longer care about what's best for America, what's best for American citizens. This is a big reason why Trump just whooped.
If you happen to be a Democrat and you're watching this, can you help me understand? This guy sees it. I see it. I know most people watching and most people who voted see it. I don't understand how y'all continue to lie to yourselves about what is happening. How you continue to project everything that you do and that your party does onto us. Whatever Democrat came up with the party switch lie, it sure has brainwashed a lot of people. It is crazy to know actual history of who the Democrats are and to be able to convince yourself that somewhere along the way, the party of slavery, the party of Jim Crow, the party of segregation, let's not forget that Joe Biden himself spoke at 4 or 5 of the KKK members' funerals not too long ago. Joe Biden fought to keep segregation and openly said he didn't want his children going to a jungle school with your children. Yeah, you can find that stuff. It's still there. Why do you think when he ran for president back in the 80s and 90s, he got destroyed? Because the media actually did their job, held him accountable somewhat, showed that he lied about college. He lied about being the smartest guy in his class. He lied about where he graduated from. He lies about everything. Now, I get it. Politicians skirt the truth and go around the truth. I do not accept it. I don't think it's okay. This crap where we say politicians just lie and we need to deal. No, we don't. And why would we? We don't deal with it from anyone else. The reality is the Democrats have always been the party of bigotry. And every single time they get their way, it comes seeping out of them. Look at what they're doing towards white straight males, especially in our country now. Is it any different than what they did to the black community back in the day? It is to get you to accept their racism while calling the other people racist. It's to get you to accept their sexism while you claim that we are sexist. It is the most remarkable thing I've ever seen anyone pull off. They have pulled off the biggest con job in American history. They've convinced millions of people that the people who still openly call for segregation care about you. It's remarkable. It really is. All right, let's go watch the next video. Here's the lefty losing it. Oh, X.
America really chose like the most inopportune time to piss off the women, the gays, and the days. For most of us, this was the last straw. We were holding back until now. Like, if you thought we were annoying before, just wait. Like, not only have you unleashed the Kraken, but Reputation Taylor's version is about to come out, meaning we're about to have an entire soundtrack to this movie. America really chose like the most inopportune time to piss off the.
Why do the liberals always use Taylor Swift? I mean, oh, wow. Let's go to the next lefty losing it.
Broke up with their boyfriends last night. A lot of Republican women broke up with their MAGA husbands, and they don't want to be treated like that anymore. If you look through the posts, there is a rising up of these women who married Republican men. Here is a tip newly single ladies, you want to get some dark eyeliner and you want to get some dark lipstick. All of those boys that said they don't like makeup, we're sorting for obedient women. So you need to like wear makeup, like really wear makeup, and that's how you signal to a man that you're not a Republican. The patterns in our life are hard to break out of. Make sure you attract a different kind of guy this time. A lot of Republicans broke up with their boyfriends last night. A lot of Republican women broke up.
Again, this is the party of tolerance. This is the party of love and acceptance. They are cheering on breaking up with boyfriends, husbands, acting like they're going to murder them by putting poison in their drinks. This, guys, I want y'all to understand. You know where this comes from? You know how they're always saying gender affirming care, affirmation this, affirmation that. I encourage you to do a little research about what affirmation is and about what affirmation was used by our CIA. Our own CIA did a massive study on this and came to the conclusion that affirmation is the best form of brainwashing there is. You continue to affirm someone's delusion, and they build up this narcissistic mind to where when anything dares question it, they snap. Are you understanding why they continue to do it now? This affirmation stuff? It's not about love and acceptance. It's about controlling you. They are using you and whatever mental illness you may or may not have. They are capitalizing on it, and they will throw you away the moment they get. Just ask the black community. Look at what the Democrats have done. They have sworn for 50 years now that they are going to do this for the black community. They're going to do this for the black community. We're going to give y'all reparations. But hey, guys, we ain't got no money. We're going to send $1 billion to the Africans, though. How about that? How about that? How about that, black community? What do you think of that? Truly, what do you think of that? They continue to promise you all these things and then tell you they don't have any money, but they sure have plenty of money for other Africans now, don't they? I mean, how is that not a slap in the face to you? Am I the one seeing this wrong? Am I the one digging a little too deep into this? I'm curious to what you think on that. Let's go check out some more.
Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Donald Trump! Woo! Fuck Donald Trump, everybody!
Could you imagine having to go look at yourself in the mirror after you drive through your hometown like that? Or maybe it's not our hometown. I don't know, but thank you for the entertainment. But my goodness, how far gone do you have to be? All right, let's see here. Here we go.
This is what a wealthy, entitled, low-life Brad looks
is
like.
not entirely off the hook today. His ex-landlord claims he stiffed him on a whopping $300,000 in rent. What happens to the back rent that Hunter Biden owes my family? The landlord vented on social media. Is that pardoned now? Sean McGuire,
Wow.
a wealthy venture capitalist, says he rented this $4.25 million home in trendy Venice Beach, California, to the president's wayward son back in 2019. And Hunter never forked over the rent. Yup, true story, didn't pay rent for over a year. Absolute blank bag. He changed the locks and used Secret Service to
Wow.
enforce.
This is what a
May be
wealthy, entitled,
pardoned, but
low-life
Hunter
Brad
Biden
looks
is
like.
not
Why does it do that? How about that, guys? How about that? So not only does he get pardoned for crimes, for possible crimes going back 11 years, he just gets to not pay his rent. He uses Secret Service to bully the landowner. Again, this is the kind of stuff that they accuse us of doing, right? It's It's crazy. It really is. It's rules for thee, but not for me. It's shining right through, guys. If you can't understand that the Democrats are the elites, guys, I mean, I don't know that you ever will at this point. I don't know that there's any hope for you if you are still trying to claim that the Democrats want what's best for you in this country, because absolutely everything they do is against your best interest, against my best interest, against this whole country's best interest. Everything. It's not just one thing. It's so blatantly in your face that they don't care. They will do what they want, and you peons will do what you're told.
I don't want to be bringing back waterboarding. I don't want to be a country that tortures people, especially if we're the kind of country that's going to be using the military against our own citizens.
Well, wait,
this kind of thing concerns me.
What do you mean use against our own citizens?
I'm talking about
You said blue
sending.
states behave. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about sending the military into blue states to make them behave.
What
Getting
is that?
Gavin Newsom under control, getting JP Pritzker under control.
What are you
making
talking
sure-
about? What do
I'm
you mean?
talking
Like
about
sitting
things
into
that
the
Donald
state
Trump has
capitol
actually
to
said.
commandeer the state government?
I mean,
Well,
I
you
hope
know,
not, but
I mean,
I'm
you
definitely,
know that
he's definitely
Trump
talked
has
about that. I
Trump
don't know
has
why you're
talked
acting like
about
you've
using
never.
It's
the
remarkable,
military
isn't it?
To suppress in the Black Lives Matter era those
Yes.
protests in the street.
He was there
that's
himself.
actually
I just make sure I understand your position. That you believe Donald Trump is going to use the military to set up effectively like coups in state capitals of states that he didn't win?
I think you're taking it a step or two.
No, she
too
said
far.
make blue states behave.
I can't believe CNN still has Scott Jennings on. They see the writing on the wall, right? This is why they are allowing that one conservative voice to stay on there. And he is right about everything. Every time he has to put these people right in their place. It is remarkable that they just create stories. They take one part of what Trump says, they don't listen to the rest of it, and then they create these fantasies in their mind. And they force them onto us as if it's reality. And when we go, oh, hold on a minute, that's not what he said. Oh, you bigot. Oh, wow. Let's listen to some more of this. Oh, yeah, let me do this real quick. This is Insurrection Barbie on X. Libs of TikTok on X. One bad dude on X. These are the people's videos I'm playing.
Behave. And she also said round up immigrants. That's not true.
Well,
It's
Trump-
deport illegal immigrants.
Scott,
I think you just need to be a
Scott, I
little
don't know why
precise
you're
about these
acting- no,
attacks.
Okay, well,
I'm
well,
sorry.
hold on. I mean, look, I think you're right. Let's be precise. Trump has wanted to use the military to do things domestically that actually the military is
That is
not
a
allowed to
lie.
do. I think that's the point that she's making.
That's a lie.
Like what?
Like deport illegal immigrants. That is actually not a function of the military.
The military.
Before he responds to that, let me go ahead and respond to that. I'm not sure what this lady's name is, but I'm sorry. Our military and our government's first and foremost job is to protect the homeland, to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens, not criminals breaking into this country. They are not citizens in any way. This sanctuary city crap, he absolutely should send the soldiers in to end this. Those governors are breaking the law openly, slapping you in the face and making you pay for it. And then they have their propagandist media come out and speak like this. Like I said, it's remarkable that they've left Scott Jennings on here, and thank God that he did, because it's worth watching him take each and every one of these people down every day with simply telling the truth.
Can absolutely be used to work with local officials to provide military resources, but working with other parts of the federal government and local officials. We already send the
But
National
not
Guard to the
against
border.
the will of the local officials or the will of
Oh,
the state government.
oh,
We have
yes.
a federalist
You know,
government
yes, we
here.
can.
The military is not supposed to take up arms against American citizens.
They're
Period.
not. You keep
And
saying
so-
that. This is
And there's that American citizens again. Excuse me, sir. I do not believe these are American citizens. This is how they manipulate their voters. They come out and they talk about things this way. They know words are powerful. They know language is powerful, and they use it as a weapon against the low information voters who will never, ever, ever ask a question. They will never, ever think that these people are lying to them because they've been told they're not. And having a thought of their own, for Christ's sakes, what is that? Dane says we cannot give power back to the left. They need to realize it. Yes, especially our modern day left. I'm not a believer in the Democrat Party was good at one point. They never were. Hold on one second. They never were. The Republican Party was created to combat the evil from the Democrat Party. Don't get me wrong. I do not consider myself a Republican. Do I lean that way? I don't know what you would call that anymore because I don't trust most of those rhinos in this party. But again, it's